Hey, what's up? It's Greg Fish from Tech Course, and today is Sunday, October 30th. Right now it's about 6 p.m., just after sunset. Got a little bit of light left. Taking a stroll up on the beach, Mid-Island, Long Beach Island. Just wanted to share an updated fish report with everybody for this past weekend. And since it's the 30th of October, tomorrow's Halloween, 31st, kind of a end of month wrap up, and share a little bit of information in regards to what's happening right now and what's been going on the last few days, and what I see happening next upcoming days, and say week or so, in the fishing forecast, the fishing front of LBI. Right now, things are kind of settling down a little bit. Some lighter winds are going to be in the forecast for the next few days. Recently, we had a pretty good blow, and I fished through it with my team. We fished the Seashell Derby. That was Friday evening, all day Saturday, and first half of today, Sunday. That finished up at 12 o'clock today. I can share we got into some awesome fishing, some really rough conditions, but a lot of striped bass are in the area, and they have been in the area really since maybe one or two blows earlier this month. I guess you could say with good confidence that we've had a good body of fish, really good body of fish that have been in the area. When I say in the area, in the local vicinity of Long Beach Island waters, Barnegat Inlet waters. I heard some reports both around Barnegat Inlet and also Holgate Inlet, Beach Haven Inlet. There's good fishing in the back bays of LBI and also off the surf. There's been some surf reports, some fish that have hit the scales for the LBI Surf Fishing Classic. There's been some fish that I heard of that were caught and released. There's been overs, that's over 38 inches, 38 and over. There's been some unders and some slawfish. So there's fish of all sizes here. There is a very, very large abundance of very big quality fish. If you haven't heard that, hopefully this sparks some interest and gets you to get going and get in the game. A couple of videos back, I should have alluded to, I believe I did, that normally Halloween is kind of my time frame, Halloween, say on the schedule, of when to say, that's sort of the holiday on the schedule or on the calendar that sparks things off in terms of the fall fishing in the Central Jersey coast. Normally surf fishing is a little on the slower side before Halloween. Normally Halloween and Thanksgiving is very good. And most of the time the apex of, I'll say, quality is around, in my opinion, the Halloween time frame. And I think the apex in the abundance is normally later in the month of November, there around Thanksgiving. Sometimes we have different waves of fish, bigger fish, smaller fish come and go, early season, late season, mid-season, what have you. But this year we had a great showing of big quality fish. And they've been sticking around, like I just mentioned. For this tournament, I had Dante, who's from Magic Tail Bucktails, Magic Tail Outfitters, a great friend and also tackle manufacturer, has an awesome spread of stuff. Maybe he fishes Mojos, maybe he fishes Bucktails. He was aboard, and also Max, he's the buyer at the shop. They made up the team, me, Max, and Dante. We put a lot of work in. We fished in rough conditions. We caught a lot of big fish. Caught a lot of smaller fish too. Caught fish on lures, caught fish on live baits. We fished live eels, we fished live spot. We fished some herring. There's some herring around. We caught some herring at night under the lights, and then we fished them during the day. I can share, there was awesome fishing. Probably some of the best fishing I can remember in recent trips, maybe even recent months and years. Some of the best quality striped bass fishing I was a part of that I actually didn't catch many fish of because I was running the boat the whole time. I caught a couple. I had a nice fish this morning on a bucktail. I think it was a 2 ounce bucktail, yellow fat cow strip. That did it for me. If you were to approach the beach front back here or the inlet, 2 ounce bucktail would be awesome. Get a lot of questions last few days about what lures to fish. When it's rough and it's hard to cast, needlefish, something like a super strike needlefish, is a phenomenal lure. Off the charts phenomenal lure. When you have heavy sweep, which here in LBI we get a lot of southerly winds. You get a big southerly wind and we get a lot of sweep, needlefish. Another lure I can also suggest would be a bucktail. Just mentioned a bucktail. Bucktail's awesome lure for the beach. I'd say a super strike bottle is another really, really good lure, and there's bottles from a lot of different companies too. But a bottle plug like a North Bar bottle darter or a super strike rattling swimmer, a casting swimmer, a bottle plug, they're very good. You can cast them out in some swell, as you see behind me. and they hold, they thump, the bump, 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 bump. You feel them thumping, you know they're swimming. If they're not thumping, something's wrong. Those are probably some of the better lures that I would suggest to fish when you're going after a bigger fish. You're fishing some bigger water like we've had, some big swell here. Looks like tomorrow, Monday, we got 3 to 5 foot swell still coming on the easterly ground swell. As you see behind me, just turn this way, you see a big old set coming through. Last couple of days, we've had 4 to 8 foot swell depending on the tide, the time of day, depending on the bars and whatnot. But as you see behind me, there's some beautiful looking water here in LBI. It's just awesome. After that big blow we had, I guess a couple blows we've had, you see there's some points, you see there's some bowls, and I'm not sure if you can tell that contour from the angle, but you see the island cuts in, goes out this way behind me. Sorry to get you spinning. You can see there's a little cove and it juts out up there. I'm walking through the town of Pahila Park right now. That's where I live, right by the Acme. It's not really a spot burn. There's awesome beaches here to fish. A lot of people don't come around this neighborhood. They either go all the way north end, all the way south end, or fish the mid-island beaches. This is sort of like a southern mid-island, just to throw that out there. There's a big trough along the sand here, or along the beaches here. As you see, the sand's piled up in some of these areas, peaks up here. But you see I have a big trough, there's some cuts, and a big bar out the back. And when there's some swell coming through, you'll see that white water, and that's where you want to throw the lures right on the edge of that white water. Fish the white water, fish the cuts, fish the rips. As I'm approaching this next beach, I'm seeing some beautiful nervous water. That is where I would be tossing some plugs. Something to fish right now at sunset, as it's calm and I have a big pocket of water here. Little poppers, right? Little metal lip swimmers, little SP minnows. All those would be great in here, even a rubber shad. Just a heads up, there's bunker here, there's herring here, there's squid here. There's still peanut bunker, lots of it in the back bay, lots of peanut bunker. What else do we have going on? Yeah, I said fishing live eels, awesome live eel fishing right now in the bay, live spot in the bay. I think once the weather settles down, looks like we're gonna have some residual swell for the rest of this week. I think even like Wednesday, the swell's still kicking around. I think the winds are gonna be a little bit lighter than they've been, but definitely some residual easterly ground swell this week. So chunking bunker off the beach would be a great option. You could definitely get up to the jetty. Tog fishing is phenomenal. So definitely the fishing forecast would be get out and do some fishing now while fishing's good. But know that I got some really good expectations. The next couple days, next couple weeks are gonna be phenomenal. Fishing's gonna be solid right into Thanksgiving. I think when we start getting some colder weather, water temperature right now ranged for me last couple days from 55 degrees to 59 degrees. The bay is colder than the ocean. Last couple days, it kind of trended that way. We had a little cold snap, whatever, maybe a week or so back, maybe it was a little bit longer. And then we had a little warm up. Throughout that, the bay dropped, bay warmed back up, and it was very, very similar bay to ocean temp. So those temp swings on the tides were very minimal. Also the stratification, the surface temperature, and the bottom temperature were very, very close. Sometimes you'll have radical differences in both temperature on the top and temperature on the bottom, and also radical differences in the water temperature from incoming to outgoing tide when you have ocean influence, bay influence, whether you're fishing inlet or a near beach, something like that. Water moves very, very broad areas of water move long distances, especially with how LBI is set up, where you have, say, the bridges in the back bay, some different towns throughout that are closer to the inlets, away from the inlets. That inlet water will get through into the back bay, but it's different in different areas, so it's something, a little local knowledge that can help out if you know what's going on with the tides and currents and temperatures. Sometimes that temp can make a bite, sometimes it can break a bite. So hopefully that little thing helps you out. To bounce back to the fishing report, like I said, great fishing right now in LBI. If you're looking to get out and fish, whether it's going to be on the beach, whether it's in the boat, whether it's the bay, the inlet, the bridges, the docks, the bulkheads. I mean, the fish are here. There's an abundance of schoolie striped bass in the bay. I caught some fish just a few days ago. I took out my dad and his great friend Al. We were throwing some small little spooks in the bay. I don't think I shared this report in a previous video. I think this was a few days back, maybe a day or two after my last video. Fishing some small 4-inch spooks, fishing some small stuff, little poppers from Stillwater, little swimming plugs from Rapala, little X-Wraps. And we had an awesome time catching a few schoolies there at sunset one night. That was actually one of those foggy days. I'm not sure if anybody got out in that wicked fog. We had a few days of wicked fog. It was very, very challenging. But yeah, the back bay fishing is great. I know I heard some great reports of guys drifting live spots. Like I mentioned before, eels as well. in the back bays, catching a lot of striped bass. Tommy Smith reported to me, I went to the lighthouse lighting last night, and I'm sure he knows Barnegat Lighthouse got a $1.3 million restoration. They just finished it this fall. They actually just lit the new lens. There's a new LED lens that matches, it's authentic to the original one that was in there. There's a re-lighting party and bonfire yesterday in Barnegat Light. I saw Tommy Smith from the Ship Bottom Beach Patrol, awesome friend of the family, awesome dude. And he shared with me that he had one on spotter, nice fish. He showed me actually a few fish, some in the back bay here, some towards up towards the main channels and thoroughfares, fishing live spot. I can share that the store staffers at Fisherman's Headquarters are catching quality fish. Frez has been dialed in, Tyler's been dialed in, Max is dialed in, Eric's dialed in. I know Jared was dialed in. I think Mateo's catching fish and dialed in. I know Paul's catching fish, he's dialed in. I don't know if I forgot anybody, I forget who already mentioned. But everybody at Fisherman's Headquarters is catching fish. So if you guys need help and you want to get out and get in on the fishing and get into some fun action this fall, stop by Fisherman's Headquarters, say what's up, say, hey, I need help. How do I go catch fish? Where do I go? What do I do? And we're here for you. That's what we do. We sell fishing tackle. We help people get fish. That's why I'm sharing this fishing report. I appreciate all the love that I get and support back from people that say, hey, I saw your video, it helped me, I caught fish, I appreciate pointing in the right direction. I try to stay away from the direct spot burns, as they don't really help you. They just tell you where a fish was yesterday or before you get there, and then when you show up, they're gone. It's all of a sudden the person's fault who told you where to go. So I try to provide information like I just mentioned in the report in terms of some baits, some general areas, some things to think about, to be prepared about. Like I mentioned, there's going to be some swells. You're fishing the beach, you're going to need some lead, a little extra lead. Today off the beach, you probably need 6 ounces of lead to hold. Maybe tomorrow will be about that or more or less in that ballpark. Probably need 4 to 8 ounces, depending on where you're at, what you're looking to do. Like I said, that residual swell is going to be here. Easterly ground swell will be on the water all day on Monday. Light winds, so get out, maybe enjoy the Halloween holiday on the beach, fishing LBI, throwing some of those lures like I mentioned earlier, maybe chunking some bunker. We are out of fresh bunker right now. Clam will be an option. It's churned up. Clam's always a great bite, great bait to get a bite. Maybe you want to get out in the boat and enjoy. I got a fly trip tomorrow. I'll be throwing the fly rod around. I got 2 fly anglers coming from the greater Philadelphia area. So I'm looking forward to that bright and early in the morning. Definitely want to give a big shout out to the Seashell family, the Hugheses. And I guess there's the Salones and Boyles as a family grows. But Tom Hughes has been running the Seashell Derby for 25 years now. We've here at Fisherman's Headquarters been a supporter all along. We always sponsor the Derby. This year's no different. I also joined this year. I fished it a couple years. Fortunately, we won. It was awesome. We were up against a huge stacked lineup of really good fishermen in this area. But I want to say a huge thanks to the Seashell for doing the Seashell Derby. It's a benefit. Raised, I think it was $28,000 was donated to Save LBI. That is the group that is suing the federal government over the wind turbines that are going to be taking place right there. If you guys want to dive into that topic, I can. I'm the recreational fishing on the advisory panel for the wind subcommittee, and I'm kind of covered up in paperwork on all that stuff, so I know a lot of what's going on in the wind turbine topics. If you want to share your information, what you feel or think or questions, maybe I can get some time to communicate and get a one-on-one. Maybe I'll do some more videos on them. But also brought in some money. I thought it was like 18 grand or 15 grand for Waves of Strength, or maybe 15 grand for the Maritime Museum in Beach Haven. So those 3 organizations got some big bucks in donations from this event, which is awesome. So that was a big thanks to the fishing community, big thanks to all the business community, the sponsors, and also, like I said, the Seashell establishment and family and business. And big thanks to all the anglers that came out and fished. I know like I said, it was a lineup stacked with quality anglers. It was stacked with great fishing. A lot of fish were on the board. Some years the weather's really bad. Like last year, it was blowing like a banshee. It was pouring rain. Fished through it beginning to end. I was happy to get a fish on the board. And this year it was blowing like a banshee too, but luckily no rain. We got out, had some awesome fishing. I heard some guys caught a lot of big fish in the ocean, a lot of overs. We had a lot of overs as well. Fished a little bit in the ocean, a little bit in the inlet, a little bit in the back bays. A lot of fish that were shorts, a lot of fish in that slot range. Finding that bigger slot was hard. but we definitely got lucky. Like I mentioned before, Dante was one of the anglers and Max. They both put some quality fish in that slot range on the board. We had some fish that were right on that 38-inch range that we let go, like 38 and a halves, 39s. Actually, one of the fish we had was just a hair under at, I think it was 37 and 15/16. And then we ended up following that up that was the first weigh-in. Then we followed that up today and had a fish that was 37, and it was even less than that. But when you bring, how they measure, they have a little slide part that goes in the back of the bump board, bring it over, and if it's covering up the 38-inch, then it's legal, and that 38-inch line was covered up, so it was legal. It was very, very close. We knew it was marginal. We measured it 20 times on the boat when we first caught it, measured it 5 times back at the dock. It was like just, I'll say not even a hair, a half a hair under 38 inches, which if you look at the rules, it's 37.99999. 38-inch has to go back. So we saw it was right there. We knew we had a quality one, had to get it. But it turns out that the 37 and whatever it was, 15/16, I forget what the official paperwork said, which you could see it was a clear gap, a much bigger gap, I should say, between that 38-inch line. That fish was actually bigger. So that one that was very, very close, like I said, a hair close, actually didn't win any money. But we got a first segment, we got a second segment. We did not get the third segment. We actually got second place in the third segment. Almost banged out a clean sweep, which would have been epic. Super fortunate for the fishing we had. Super fortunate for my anglers fishing through no sleep, rough conditions, and persevering through it all. So yeah, appreciate you guys checking out the fishing reports. That's kind of a little wrap up of my weekend. So what's going on here in LBI. If you're looking for fishing information, looking for fishing tackle, looking for tips and tricks, you need to get help with some problems that you may have with fishing tackle or whatever it may be. Stop by Fisherman's Headquarters. Come talk to the crew here at Fisherman's Headquarters 7 days a week. We're open all year long, but right now fishing's hot. Get down to LBI. Let's go fishing. Have a great day.